This video will look at moving pictures in your Desmos graph. We've already talked about moving equations of lines, but now can we actually move pictures in our project? So here is a picture of a Starbucks drink, right? And let's say I want to have it move, I don't know why, but let's say we want to have it move in this graph based on this sine equation I put up here. So we kind of want it to float up and down. Well, first, the problem that really I can make it smaller, obviously, but I've got all this white background that's kind of ruining the picture in terms of the illusion for it to be floating. So to get rid of the white background, I have a program on my laptop called paint.net. So if I go into that, I've already uploaded the picture of the Starbucks drink, right? There's this great tool here called, you know what, and let me bring this down because I don't know if it's within the recording screen. Right, there's a great tool in here called the magic wand. All right, and that will eliminate, if you choose that, it will eliminate similar colors. So right now, if I click on the white, it will eliminate all the white in here depending on the tolerance up here that you choose. So for example, if I choose a pretty high tolerance, it will choose almost all the white. So it's actually going to delete all of that, which would really be ruining our picture. So if I lower the tolerance, right, it's still eliminating a little bit of the drink. I'm going to lower it a little bit more. Now I think it really is just the outline of the drink. So now we've got it, everything selected. I want to delete what's there. So I can either press delete or up in edit, I can go to cut. And if I press cut or delete, right, everything that now is checkerboarded here will be eliminated from my picture. And the only thing that will be in my picture is the drink itself. So now we can go to File and save this image. I've been playing around with this. Don't save this as a JPEG. I don't know why in Desmos it doesn't work, but you want to save it. So let's just call this coffee, and I'm going to save it as a PNG. So make sure to save it as a PNG. Right. Now, if I go back to my Desmos project, right, I'm going to eliminate this picture. And let me come up here and add the one we just saved. So I'm going to add an image. And hopefully it'll come up soon. Right, here's our coffee PNG. Right, so if I click on that and bring it in, notice now, yay, there's our drink and that white background is missing. So one, I'm going to make it smaller. Now we want to try to figure out how can we get it to move. Now obviously I am moving it myself, and if you look right here, watch how this center changes depending on where I move it, right? So here it's moving, those numbers are moving. I could also move it by coming in here, clicking in here, and changing this to 0. Now it's on the y-axis. So that's what we want to use, right? This idea right here is what we want to attach to this equation up here. So I'm going to give it a generic parameter. I'm going to use t, and right away notice a slider appears. So if I click on that slider, just like we've done in other examples, this slider t appears, and now if I move it, right, and again remember this is in the x value of our point, it will change based on its x position, right? So it's changing back and forth. Now obviously I don't want to move it just back and forth. I actually want to move it according to this g of x function, right? So my y value, as I move it along the x-axis, wants to change, my y value wants to change based on the g of x function. So that's exactly what I'm going to put in here for my y value. So if my x function is t, I want to plug t into this function, and I would then get g of t, right? And now right away, my picture has attached itself. You can see right there, it's attached itself to that equation. And if I actually play my t parameter, voila, our drink is moving along that sinusoidal equation. Now we can come in here and I might make it a little bit smaller, right? I can change the movement of it. We talked about this in the last video. Maybe I only want it to move in that one direction. I also can slow it down. Okay, I can come up here and turn my picture off, right? So now you can see that that is magically floating. The only thing is you kind of see that equation right there, right? If I want to change the equation slightly, maybe I want to move it up a little bit, right? Right there, I've moved my line up a little bit, and maybe if I want to change the amplitude a little bit, I can change this to a little bit flatter, right? And then obviously the one thing I want to get rid of is that line. So if I go in here and hide the line, now our drink is magically floating above our picture. And that's how you add a picture with movement to your Desmos project.